When Dr. King died, he was working on his next sermon, and the title of that sermon was Why America May Go to Hell. And I felt like I needed to come on and just put out this bonus episode, really saying the same thing about the black church. The black church can go to hell. I don't say that to be provocative. I'm just saying it because it's kind of true. Right now, the chatter online is about Jimmy Swaggart's son, Donnie Swaggart. He came out blasting the black church, essentially because the black church is, for the most part, supporting Kamala Harris. That seems to be objectively true. I mean, I think for the most part, the black church and prominent black ministers are really backing her candidacy. Okay, cool. And black ministers have, clapped back, as the young people say. Freddie Haynes, whom I have a lot of respect for, actually, he went ham and he was like, "Yo, basically, this white boy, he ain't got nothing to say to me because y'all racist as all get out, and that's just your history." And that's true, and I agree with him. Like, you ain't got nothing to say to me. Slavery could not have existed outside of the church, the white church. A really good example of that actually is, a lot of people don't know, the state constitution of Georgia originally forbid black slavery. Slavery was not legal in the state of Georgia originally. What happened was George Whitefield, who's a famous, just Google George Whitefield, a very famous revivalist preacher, he was trying to get this orphanage going in Georgia, and the numbers just didn't work. And so he's like, I need slavery to make this happen. And he's the one that lobbied and made that happen. So Georgia was a slave state because of a very prominent white minister. That's one example. We could really go to town. Other people have pointed out, others. As for me, I'm a son of the black church. I was raised in the church. My folks are classic Pentecostals. They are apostolic holiness. Today, however, they attend a black Southern Baptist church. Why is that important? The Southern Baptist Convention exists because of the split on race. So for the most part, black people are National Baptist Convention, and then the white folks are Southern Baptist Convention. Yeah. So again, the church, if you're white church, you do not have the moral authority. Sit this out. You do not. Don't come over here trying to critique the black church. Not trying to hear from you. I'm talking to the black church as a black person who is a son of the black church, who is not affiliated with the black church at all. I am, just to be transparent, I am agnostic. I'm not religious. I do have a master's in divinity. I went to Oral Roberts University. I have an MDiv. I know that Bible better than you do. Okay, let's just be 100 with it. I do. Having said that, my thing is this. The reason why the black church, no, the white church doesn't have the moral authority, but neither do you. You no longer have that moral authority. I believe that because as I look at this, you have Swaggart blasting you for backing this candidate. You're blasting him for his candidate. But it's just like, I can't respect it either way. It's funny to me, and again, white folks do it too, but I'm talking to black people. I don't care what they're doing. I'm talking to us. When George Bush was in office, every black preacher had all the smoke. They were just Amos the prophet. If you're not familiar with the prophet Amos in the Old Testament, he was one of the prophets. The prophets really blasted the kings. Okay. If you're a king, you do not want to see a prophet coming because they're going to tell you how wrong you are. They're coming for you. So everybody wants to be Amos when George Bush is in office. But I find it funny, as soon as Obama got elected, everybody wanted to take pictures with him. Do you think Amos would have been trying to take pictures with the king? No, not at all. And so it seems to me that this isn't about God. This is about who you rock with. So I can't really respect it. Again, I have a lot of respect for Freddie Haynes. But in his critique, he mentions, hey, Swaggart and your candidate, you're not down with the world. God loves the world. And he mentions several examples of who's in that world. Palestine, gays. He also says LGBTQIA, like he gives, he goes all through the line with it. Cool. He wanted to include everything. He mentions trans. Like, isn't it interesting that everything that you're talking about fits so neatly within the Democratic Party? Like, again, I have a lot of respect for Freddie Haynes, but in his pushback and critique, everything you're saying seems to fit sort of the energy around the Democratic Party right now. Do you think Amos fit the energy of the king and what party to get? Again, I'm not picking on Freddie Haynes. He's just, he was an example because it was blown up on social media. I have a lot of respect for Freddie Haynes. Freddie Haynes represents sort of the mainstream of this, is what I'm saying. Doesn't have to be Freddie Haynes. Pick a name, Jamal Bryant, whatever. Now, I have a whole lot more respect for Freddie Haynes than Jamal Bryant, but you get the point. I'm just saying, it's interesting to me that all your critique and all the things that you just rail about God, this, God, that, somehow neatly fit within the Democratic Party's platform, or at least the activists, the energy of the activists within the party. Isn't that strange? And again, white preachers doing the same thing. When Obama's elected, they see Satan everywhere. It's the devil. Trump got in, God is reigning in righteousness. Like, something is off about this. Just say you're a Democrat, bro. Or just say you're a Republican. But stop trying to dress it up in God. Because when I read that Bible that you all claim to love but don't actually read or, live, in the book of Joshua, chapter 5, there's a story. Now, God has chosen the Hebrews. These are the elect people, which that's a whole nother conversation we won't get into. But God chose these people, and God delivers these people from slavery in Egypt. These are God's chosen people. But in Joshua chapter 5, some man randomly appears to Joshua, and he has a sword drawn. And Joshua's like, hold on, man. Are you down with us? Are you down with our enemies? And you know what he said? Neither one of y'all. He said, I'm Team God. Rewind, play that back. Here's the captain of the Lord's army, a representative coming straight from God, representing God, to Joshua, the leader of God's elected people. And Joshua said, are you with them or us? And he said, none of y'all. And so it's interesting to me that in the text, this dude is saying, I'm on nobody's, even if you're God's elected people, I'm still not on your side. And somehow you preachers think God has a side. God is rocking with this one versus that one. The answer is no to all of it. So again, to the black church, I can't respect your voice. You are pretending to be prophetic, but you are pathetic. You are pretending to have a word from on high, but you're just getting high off your own celebrity. You are pretending to be a prophet. The kings did not want to embrace the prophets. The kings would not show up in their church to have a photo op. The kings wanted them dead. So if you really want to claim that you're some big prophet, show me. What king wants your head? Because y'all ain't hitting on nothing right now. So no, I have no respect for the white church. I cannot respect it. If you rocking with Trump and acting like this is God's chosen man, get your head examined and don't put God's name in it. But for the black church, I'm a son of you. I came from you. I actually still love you on some level. But I'm saying to you too, I can't rock with you and I can't take you seriously. If all your prophetic announcements fit neatly within the platform of some party, you need to kind of examine, is this really God or am I just rocking with my party? Because it looks like the latter. Now, I normally drop an episode of the Blackjack Podcast every Tuesday. Excuse me. But again, just needed to put this out here. It was bothering me. I'll definitely be back Tuesday with a standard episode. But just putting this out here for now. If you're not following, please subscribe. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple Podcasts, YouTube. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Anywhere you can find a podcast, we're there. You can follow us online. All of our social media is Blackjack Pod, P-O-D, Blackjack Pod. So definitely check us out. I look forward to it.